Learning English through stories isn't just about new words. It's about moments, strange, confusing, funny moments that help you feel how real language works. When things go wrong, your emotions wake up, and that's when you remember expressions, phrases, and grammar the most. Today's story starts with a simple mistake that led me straight into a secret meeting I was definitely not supposed to be in. It was during my trip to Istanbul. I had just arrived the day before, and I was still jet-lagged, hungry, and kind of dizzy from walking around the city's old cobblestone streets. My hotel was small but charming, and they offered free Turkish tea all day in a lounge area on the 3rd floor. Around 4 in the afternoon, I thought, why not take a break and grab a cup of tea? So I walked upstairs, pushed open the wooden door that said Meeting Lounge, and stepped inside. There were about 10 people sitting around a large table. Everyone stopped talking and looked at me. I froze. Now, here's where language learners will understand the panic. I was in Turkey. They were speaking English, but with some accents I couldn't place, and very fast. The moment was too fast to think clearly. I smiled awkwardly and mumbled, "Sorry, is this the tea area?" Nobody smiled back. One of them, a tall man in a dark suit, stood up slightly and said, "You're not with the group, are you?" Now, in my mind, the group meant maybe a tour group. I said, "No, just here for the tea." Silence. One woman, who looked like the leader, stood and walked toward me. She didn't yell. She didn't smile either. "This is a closed session." "Oh, I'm really sorry," I said, backing out slowly. I thought it was just the guest lounge. Then she added, very calmly, "Please don't mention this to anyone." "What?" I nodded, said of course, and left the room, trying not to drop my phone from how much my hand was shaking. Back in my room, I spent the next hour Googling everything I could think of. Secret meetings in Istanbul, international summits, private business negotiations. Nothing. I went down later to the front desk and casually asked, "Hey, is the 3rd floor lounge open to all guests?" The receptionist blinked, confused. "There's no lounge on the 3rd floor." Now that made my stomach drop. But the sign. "We have a staff conference room, but it's not for guests." I must have read the sign wrong. Maybe it didn't say Meeting Lounge. Maybe it said Meeting, Private, or something similar. I was tired, distracted, and just focused on the word tea. Classic mistake. And honestly, this kind of thing happens more often than you'd think when you travel. In the following days, I noticed that group again. Same suits, same serious faces, coming and going quietly. I never saw their names, and they never stayed in the breakfast area. At some point, I started wondering if I had just interrupted a group of business people or something much stranger. But the key lesson here wasn't about spies or secret meetings. It was about context. As a learner, sometimes a word or phrase will sound familiar, like meeting or lounge, and you'll assume it means something casual. But language is full of context-based traps. The same word can lead you to a relaxing tea session or a high-stakes strategy meeting. So what do we take away? 1. Always read signs carefully. And 2. When in doubt, ask before you enter. But most of all, remember how much you learn from awkward moments. Because that day, I learned the phrase closed session. I learned the importance of tone and silence, and I learned that not everything that looks like tea is tea. Your turn. Here's your task. Write in the comments about a time when you misunderstood a sign, a phrase, or a situation in English. What did you think it meant? What did it really mean? If this story made you smile or panic a little, hit subscribe to LingVerse. These stories help you feel English in your bones, not just memorize it in your head.